at the Rusty Spoke on the edge of town. The Christmas lights are up, but half are falling down. There's a Santa hat stapled to the moose on the wall, and the smell of bleach and desperation in the hall. But in the back corner, under a flickering neon sign, gather the disciples of the 5-bar line. We leveled the table with a matchbook and a prayer, 'cause the floor is slanted and the ref doesn't care. It's $10 to enter, win or take the pot, and if you spill your pitcher, you're gonna get shot. It's the dive bar, open the holiday cup. Don't touch the rods until you finish your sup. We got tinsel on the goalies and chalk on the rail, and a bathroom door that's prone to fail. No spitting, no jarring, no crying to your mom. We're playing for a ham and a jacket cherry bomb. Merry Christmas, you hustlers, you sharks, and you freaks. Welcome to the tournament of the glorious geeks.
Jenkins brought his own silicone lube. He's wearing fingerless gloves and acting like a rube, but he's got a snake shot that strikes like a cobra's hiss, and a pull shot that he simply doesn't miss.
Then walked in a hipster in an ugly sweater vest, thinking he could put our skills to the test. He grabbed the handle and gave it a whirl. He spun the rod like a helicopter girl. The music stopped, the bartender stared. Jenkins pulled a wrench, the kid looked scared.
We don't do that here, the old man said low. Now reset the ball or get out in the snow. The jukebox is playing Mariah on repeat, but the only sound we hear is the shuffling of feet. It's the semifinals, the tension is high.
The prize is a bar tab and a frozen pecan pie. My palms are sweating, my vision is blurred. I'm playing against a guy who hasn't said a word. He smells like pine needles and motor oil too, and he's blocking everything that I'm trying to do. To the wire, sudden death, next point wins. I'm praying for forgiveness for my holiday sins. The ball hit the wall, it bounced off the back. I closed my eyes and gave the rod a smack. It hit the dead man and ricocheted right. It rolled past his goalie into the silent night. The crowd went wild, which was just 3 guys. I claimed the pecan pie and the grand prize. So I walked out the door with a trophy made of tin, a belly full of lager and a greasy chin. The snow was falling on the dive bar roof, and I had the victory, I had the proof. I may not have gold or frankincense or myrrh, but I'm the king of the Rusty Spoke, that's for sure. No spinning, hey, who ate the prize pie? Merry Christmas, racking 'em up.
We hadn't seen Cousin Steve since Christmas of 15. He'd been living in a basement somewhere near Marlene. He walked in the door with a pale ghostly tan and a callus on the wrist of his right-sided hand.
We hugged him and kissed him, said welcome back home. Tell us of your travels, where did you roam? He stared past our eyes with a 1,000-yard stare and said, I've been searching for a table that's fair.
The humidity in Texas made the ball slightly sticky, but the rods in Ohio were surprisingly slicky.
Oh, we tried to talk weather, we tried to talk sports, we tried to talk business and legal tours, but every single subject, no matter how far, led back to the physics of the 5-man bar. It's a gravitational pull that we cannot escape. Cousin Steve's reality has only one shape.
It's rectangular green with a goal at each end,
and he doesn't have family, he just has opponents to bed.
And Martha spoke up.
I had surgery on my hip.
Steve nodded and said,
Was it a loss of the grip?
did you use master wraps?
Did you silicone the joint? If your hip is too slow, you will concede the point.
Martha looked confused, so Dad jumped in the fray.
The economy is tough, inflation's here to stay.
Steve slammed his fist. Tell me about it, Uncle Dan. Do you know the entry fees for the Kansas open plan. The prize money splits are a capitalist crime. I'm spending $30 on coin op
every time.
My sister said I'm pregnant.
Deep state, start 'em young.
Get a stool for the table before the songs are sung.
Grandpa said I'm dying.
Steve said dead balls are tricky. Just reset to the goalie and don't get too picky. Mom finally snapped. She threw down the roasty. Stop it! You're ruining the toast. We don't care about snakes or rollovers or pins. We don't care about brackets or your tournament wins. Can we talk about anything else for a minute? Or is your brain just a box with a plastic ball in it?
The room went silent.
The candles flickered low,
Steve stood up slowly,
preparing the blow.
his lips started trembling.
He looked so betrayed, like a martyr of plastic who was being unmade. I see how it is.
He whispered with spite,
You're bigots, you're hateful, you're ruining my night. You're erasing my culture.
he screamed at the pie.
My people are spinners.
We live and we die
The sound of the whack.
in the speed of the wrist.
And you hate me because I naturally exist. This isn't a hobby, it's an ethnic identity. And your no foosball rule is an act of obscenity. I'm a table American, hear my voice roar. You're suppressing my truth because you can't keep the score.
He stormed out the door with a handful of stuffing.
Claiming we were racist for simply bluffing.
We heard him outside yelling at a tree. That's a fool,
That's a jar. Laugh a look at me. So we finished the dinner in awkward relief and prayed he'd find a tournament to handle his grief. I'm reporting this family to the ITSEF for hate crimes. You'll be banned. The fire is crackling, the chestnut is roasting. My brother is bragging and intentionally boasting about his promotion and his new baby girl. But I'm in the corner, suppressing the urge to hurl. My palms are sweating, my forearms are tense. I'm looking at grandma with 0 cents. She handed me a knife to help cut the meat, but I gripped the handle and looked at my feet. I tried to do a snake shot on a leg of the ham. Now there's gravy on the ceiling and cranberry jam.
Oh, I don't want your eggnog, I don't want your cheer.
I need a Tornado T3000 and a cheap domestic beer.
You're singing jingle bells, but I hear a different sound. It's the whack of a yellow ball going pound for pound. You think it's a game, you think it's a toy. Tell that to the blisters on this grown-up boy.
And Merry Christmas to the family, I love you a lot, but I trade you all for a perfect pull shot. Uncle Bob walked up, he said, I used to play. I was the king of the dorm room back in the day. So we went to the basement to the table I keep,
Buried under wrapping paper in a dusty heap. I wiped off the surface, I lubed up the rod.
and then Uncle Bob did something against God. He grabbed the handle and he started to spin. He spun it like a helicopter. It's a mortal sin. I screamed, this isn't kind or God's in control. The ball. And I red-carded Grandpa and stared at the wall. They got me some mittens, you see. Don't they know that friction is the key to be free? I need master wraps, I need silicone lube, not a gift card for movies or a sweater from a tube. My wrist is a weapon, my mind is a trap. I'm analyzing angles while you take a nap. You're eating a cookie looking soft and fat while I'm perfecting the geometry of the bank shot splat. Now
Now dinner is served, we're holding hands to pray. I'm thankful for the defense that kept the goals at bay. I'm thankful for the 5-bar passing with grace.
I'm thankful for the ball hitting the opponent's face. My mom asks, are you okay? You're twitching a bit.
I say I'm just practicing my tic-tac hit. I've got visual tunnel vision, I can't see the tree. Just the little plastic men staring back at me.
So keep your figgy pudding, keep your silent night.
I'm going to the dive bar to pick a foosball fight.
I'll hustle the locals, I'll crush their holiday dreams with the glorious sound of the plastic screams.
No spinning, reset, that was a jar. Merry Christmas, don't touch the robs if you don't know the rules.
Sound of a plastic ball hitting the metal backplate at 100 by fitting flag.
Now Gus was the kind of guy who played for blood and bone. He'd step up to the table and emit a low-pitched groan.
He'd scream at the beginners if they spun the rod, and then she was the dive bar dictator, the foosball playing Grinch.
If you scored a lucky bank shot, he'd lecture you for days about the physics of the angle and the error of your ways.
He'd slam the table so hard that the beers would hit the floor
And tell us we were garbage while he settled up the score. Oh, Gus, the grumpy Gus, the terror of the bar. We wished upon a satellite, we wished upon a star. Please take this man away from us, please find him a new game.
because playing foosball with him is a
Walk through burning shame. So we hatched a plan for Christmas, a conspiracy of fear.
We pulled our money together to buy the gift of the year.
A professional bristle dartboard with tungsten tips so fine, we thought
If he plays darts, he'll leave the 5-bar line.
we gave it to him sweetly, wrapped in paper green and red. He tore it open, looked at us, and this is what he said. You think I wanna throw small spikes at cork upon a wall?
I see your plot, you weaklings. You wanna keep the ball.
He took a dart and threw it. It stuck in the jukebox screen, and suddenly Grumpy Gus was twice as loud and mean. He was blocking every pull shot.
He was mocking every pass
He was verbally abusing us
with
zero class. We huddled in the bathroom, trembled in the stall. We're out of options, guys.
We have to make the call.
Then little Timmy whispered, a genius in disguise.
He feeds on conflict, brothers. He feeds on rolling eyes. So let's change the dynamic. Let's flip the social script.
Let's act like he is Jesus every time the ball is whipped. We walk back to the table with smiles wide and fake us scream.
You all are losers.
We said, for goodness sake,
You're right, Gus.
you're a genius. Your wrist is made of gold. We've never seen a rollover so beautiful and bold. He stopped, he blinked, he missed the ball. He looked a little pale. Stop mocking me, he shouted. We said we'd never fail to honor such a master. Please show us that again. You are the god of foosball, the king of tastic men. We let him score 10 goals in a row without a single block. We cheered for every goal he made, observing him in shock. His face turned red, then purple, his brain could not compute why nobody was fighting him, why nobody was mute. Why are you nice? He gasped, clutching at his chest.
The circuit breaker in his heart was put to the final test. The shock of validation was too much for him to bear. He grabbed the handle one last time and vanished into air.
We held the service Boxing Day right there on the parquet floor. We buried him with a handle grip and walked out of the door.
It's quiet at the table now, the games are soft and sweet. We finally have our peace on earth and plenty of room for feet. So here's the lesson, children, if a bully blocks your way, just tell him he's fantastic and watch him fade away.
Rest in peace, Gus.
Nice shot.
Little Suzie woke up with a vision in her head of counterbalanced men and a cabinet of red. She'd left the brochures on the pillow of her dad, detailed specs of the tornado, the best to be had.
She didn't want a pony, she didn't want a drone. She wanted precision rods and a heavy gold zone. She ran to the tree, pushed the dog out of the way,
Ready for the physics of professional play.
But what is this garbage I see on the floor?
a PlayStation 5, what a digital bore.
A shiny new bicycle with tassels and gears. I can't do a tic-tac with this, it brings me to tears. And a folder of paper,
A fun for college,
I don't want an education.
I don't want knowledge.
You can't bank a shot with a mutual fund.
My Christmas is ruined, my growth has been stunted.
Dad said, honey, that savings bond matures in 10 years.
Suzie grabbed a wrench and wiped away tears.
If you won't buy the table, I'll build it myself from the wreckage of dreams on this fireplace shelf.
She took the PlayStation and smashed it apart. The graphics card fan will act as the heart. She hacksawed the bike frame, sparks flying high. These handlebars work if I bend them and try.
She melted the controller to mold a new ball and bolted the mess to the dining room wall. Zest! Grind! Crack, Mama screaming that bond was for Yale.
Suzie screams back, I'm putting the goalie in jail.
She's using the bicycle spokes for the rods, defying the parents and defying the gods. Who needs a degree when you have wrist control? She's welding the bike chain right into the goal. Amidst it in beast mode
It's a table of horror of wire and plastic.
a Frankenstein monster but fully elastic.
The men are made out of the bicycle seat. The surface is slippery
From the holiday meet,
She looks at her parents who are sobbing with fear and says, pick a side, folks.
the season is here.
It costs
40 grand and a future degree, but check out this pull shot, it's wild and free. Next time just listen when I ask for the brand, or I'll turn the whole house into Foosball and thwack, go! Whoa, Merry Christmas, pass the soldering iron. I shoved the dining table halfway out the kitchen door, said forget the roasted turkey, this is what the season's for. I unveiled the pristine table, chrome rod shining bright. My family sighed a collective sigh and gave up on the night.
Mom said that's nice, honey. With the enthusiasm of a stone, I checked his watch and groaned. Can't we just watch Home Alone? I handed out wristbands, said prepare for war, you guys, while ignoring the sheer terror in my little niece's eyes.
So it's a foosball Christmas, lock the doors and dim the lights. We're trading silent nights for plastic kinetic fights. I'm scoring 10 goals a minute, I'm a hurricane of skill, while my sister is crying softly against the windowsill. It's about domination, Grandma, it's about the perfect pull. Now quit your whining, set the ball, let's get this stocking full.
I'm up 14-0 against my cousin from out of state. He tried to pass the ball, but he was 3 seconds too late. I slammed the rod so hard the ornament shook upon the tree, and then I stopped the game to give him advice for free.
You're holding it wrong, Kevin, your stance is way too weak. You gotta snap the wrist, listen when the masters speak. Grandma got frustrated and just started to spin the rod. I screamed, that's illegal, now I have you no fear of God.
Suddenly the room got quiet, the tension was thick as fog. My dad put down his handle and stepped away from the lawn.
We're done, said Mom, grabbing her coat and her purse. This is supposed to be merry, but it's literally a curse. They were heading for the exit, the holiday was bust. I knew I had one option left, the Hail Mary move of trust. Wait, stop!
Don't leave, I know what this party needs.
Hold on.
And a gallon jar of pickle juice I bought from a man named Stan. I said, Pickleback's for everyone, it's a healthy cure. They looked disgusted, but they drank it to be sure. 1 shot, 2 shots, suddenly eyes got bright.
The brine washed away the anger of the terrible foosball night.
Nana's ripping her blouse open and spinning like a fan. Daddy's doing push-ups on the table, yelling, I'm the man. We're terrible, we're sloppy, the ball flew in the dip, but we're hammered on pickle juice and nobody gives a rip. It's the best Christmas ever, the house smells like vinegar and sweat. It's a foosball miracle, the drunkest one we've had yet. Spin it, Nana, spin it till it breaks down. Spin it, Nana,
Spin it, nada,
spin it, Nana,
spin it, nada,
spin it, Nana, spin it, Nana.
Little Timmy knelt by the fireplace grate, praying hard to Santa to alter fate. He didn't want a puppy, he didn't want a switch. He wanted to scratch a very specific itch. He wrote a letter to the IOC in Switzerland saying table soccer is the future, you must understand. He wished for gold medals and Olympic rings and the terrifying legitimacy that official status brings. Had some pull with the committee board, because in February the announcement roared. Foosball is official, the summer games are on. The world celebrated from dusk until dawn. We built billion-dollar stadiums just for the table. We laid fiber optic cable just to enable high-definition beams off and a little yellow man. We thought it was a golden age way back then. Oh, it's an Olympic Christmas, the dream came true. We're spinning for the red, white, and blue. Forget the javelin, forget the swimming pool. We're mastering the bank shot because it's so cool. The world is united by the galvanized rod. We've forsaken our families to worship a plastic god. It started slowly, the great resignation. People quit their jobs across every single nation. Why be a surgeon? Why fly a plane when perfecting the pull shot is the only true gain? Wall Street shut down, the stock market crashed, cause the brokers were getting their defenses. Thrashed farmers stopped farming, truckers stopped driving. Nobody was working, nobody was striving for anything other than wrist rotation speed. Foosball became the universal human need. We stopped making food, we stopped pumping gas. We only cared about the perfect midfield pass. We traded our water for silicone lube. We lived and we died by the plastic tube. The sound of the world wasn't laughter or birds, it was the constant watch that replaced
desire. Now it's Christmas again. 1 year later, the world is a smoking, empty crater. The power grid failed back in July, but we're playing by candlelight, watching humanity die. Timmy is the champion, king of the ash heap, rolling over opponents while the angels weep. He got his wish, the medal is around his neck, standing alone on the burning deck. So Merry Christmas from the end of the line. The wish came true, and the table is fine. The human race is finished, but check out this spin. It doesn't matter that there's nobody left to win. Clink.
Frosty Christmas Eve, feeling like the kind of guy in whom you should believe. They'd put out a wish list, socks and underwear, maybe some canned peaches, just to show we care.
But I said to the director, hold my oat milk latte stand. I've got a donation that'll change the soul of every man.
My movers groaned and pivoted, they struggled with the weight as we dropped a tornado T-3000 right inside the gate.
The residents just stared at it, confused and slightly cold, asking if the little yellow plastic man could be pawned for gold.
Oh, I gave the gift of Foosball, the sport of kings and queens, instead of actual necessities or durable blue jeans. They wanted warmth and sustenance. I gave them risk control, a tax write-off for me, and a battle for their soul.
Well, it sat there for a week next to the radiator clank until a guy named Sloppy Joe decided just to crank steady. The soup line vanished, the beds were empty too. Everyone was crowded round to watch what Joe could do. They didn't have professional wraps or silicone grip tubes. They learned to play with calloused hands and attitude of rubes. They weren't playing for trophies in suburban basement far. They were playing for the last cigarette, respect from near and far.
The shelter became a dojo, a temple of the spin, where the only currency that mattered was the will to win.
Cut to 1 year later, the convention center floor, the national championship, the crowds began to roar. The pros with their responses plastered on their island shirts, complain about humidity and carpal tunnel hurts. They had coaches and masseuses and personalized gear. Then the PA announcer said, we have a walk-on here.
He stepped out of the shadows wearing a faded surplus coat. It was Joe from the shelter, the guy who missed the boat. He walked up to the table against the reigning champ, who looked at Joe like he was nothing but a postage stamp. The champ tried a European pin, delicate and slow. Joe blocked it with a violence that nobody seemed to know.
It wasn't pretty technique, it was survival on the rod. He played like a man possessed by a vengeful foosball god. He slammed the ball so hard it broke the sound barrier in half, and every time he scored a goal, he let out a grabby laugh. He won the golden trophy, hoisted it up high, a millionaire, a baby with a twinkle in his eye. He looked into the camera and said, I owe it all to thee, some random rich dude who donated this machine to me. So forget the turkey dinner, forget the woolen socks. True salvation comes in a heavy plywood box.
'Twas the night before Christmas and the house was dead silent,
except for a box that was turning quite violent.
tucked under the tree, wrapped in shiny red foil.
A tornado T-3000 began to uncoil.
The family was snoring, tucked tight in their beds, while downstairs the plastic was turning its head. With a print and a snap, the cardboard gave way. The little yellow man decided to play. They popped off their rods like minuscule prisoners of war,
And their tiny heartbeat hit the hardwood floor.
they were 3 inches tall, with painted on grins and souls full of mischief and polymer sins. They looked like the Gremlins, but shinier and harder, and they immediately raided the kitchen larder. Oh, we're the Foosball fiends, we're the tabletop terrors. We're here to commit holiday errors. We don't care if you've been naughty or nice. We're gonna skate on the kitchen floor ice. We're hard plastic agents of total destruction. Watch out for the goalie, he's got 0 instruction.
They tied up the cat with a garland of silver. They used Mom's fine china to build a small river.
They drank the milk left out for Saint Nick,
And used the cookies for hockey pucks, slap shot and quick.
the black team defenders were climbing the tree, knocking down ornaments with terrible glee.
They took the nativity baby, sweet Jesus so small,
and used him for practice like Chestnut Hall wall. The grandfather clock struck a terrifying 4.
the sun's coming up, they'll open the door.
The head striker screamed, "The humans are whacking! If they see this mess, it's our plastic they're breaking!" Abort mission chaos, inch it clean. It was the fastest tidy in the world's ever seen.
Grab the scotch tape, get the vacuum, move it, move it, move it.
Glue the head back on the nutcracker
Before they can prove it,
swallow the glitter, untie the poor cat, put the cookie crumbs under the welcome mat. They were a blur of motion, a whirlwind of fear, trying to make the wreckage disappear.
they hop back on the rods, they froze into place, just as the first light of dawn hit the space.
The family came down, rubbing sleep from their eyes.
Wow, a foosball table, what a surprise.
The house was pristine, not a needle astray.
The plastic men stood there, stiff in the gray.
But little Timmy, the youngest of all, noticed the goalie was slightly too tall. He leaned in close while his parents drank coffee, and noticed the striker smelled slightly of toffee. The little yellow striker leaned forward just an inch and hissed,
Listen here, you little ankle biter. You saw nothing, you hear me?
"We were never here. If you breathe a word of this to your mommy or daddy, I will curse your wrist.
Every shot you take for the rest of your life will spin backwards into your own goal. You will be the laughing stock of the rec center. Now go open your stockings and shut your mouth.
Merry Christmas."
It was the bottom of the 9th, well the point was 4-4. My cousin Mike was sweating, dripping eggnog on the floor. The turkey was cold, the family was bored, waiting for the final goal to finally be scored. I went for a snake shot, Mike blocked it with his knee. He said, "That shot is ugly, man, take it from me." I paused the game, I looked him in the eye and let out a roast that made the angels cry. I said, "Your goalie is slow, your technique is a drama, but not as slow and heavy as your foosball playing mama." Oh! It's a yo mama battle, put the ball on the spot We're trading insults instead of taking a shot. Forget the peace on earth, forget the silent night. We're roasting matriarchs by the Christmas light. Check the technique, check the verbal flow. Yo mama's on the table and she putting on a show. Mike looked stunned, but he grabbed the mic. He said, you wanna go there? I got rhymes that are sick. He said, yo mama is so bad at the 2-bar pass, she thinks a wall pass happens in the yoga class. I fired back, yeah, well your mama spins the rod so fast and loose. She looks like a helicopter chasing a goose. It's illegal, Mike, she's breaking the rules. She plays like she graduated from clown college schools. Yo mama's defense is full of holes and gaps. She needs a GPS just to find her own traps. I walked the ball in slow, didn't even have to shoot. She's got the reaction time of a ginger root. I said, hold up, let me finish this game. Yo mama's grip is so weak, it's a crying shame. She tried to do a pull shot and dislocated her thumb. She plays the 5-bar like she's banging a drum. Your mama's so clumsy when she stepped to the grate. She jarred the table and knocked over the plate. She's got a deadball personality stuck in the zone. Even the little plastic man wish she'd leave him alone. Grandma walked in wearing a festive vest. She said, stop fighting, boys, give it a rest. We looked at Grandma, then looked at the score, and decided to give Nana just a little bit more. Yo, Grandma, your bank shot is ancient history. How you ever scored a point is a total mystery. You use a walking cane to lubricate the rod.
Grandma dropped the mic or the cookie and gave a nod.
Yeah, the game never finished, the ball's still there, but the smell of burnt egos is filling the air. We're hugging it out, cause it's Christmas Day, but yo, mama still doesn't know how to play. Mic drop. Merry Christmas.